Hey everybody, welcome back to Walking with Jesus Daily. This is the recording for day 287, and pardon me, this is my third attempt. Had to erase my first recording, and I don't know why this has been such a struggle, but I'm hopeful, as I've said before, that none of me comes out in any of these recordings. If I do, then I just get rid of it. If you have heard me and not truth, please let me know, and I will erase it, and I will pray, and I will fast, and I will redo it. I believe there's incredible power in fasted prayer and surrender. But what's important to note on that is it's not like a personal power. It's not like a look at me power. This is the truth revealing word of God power. And that's real. And that's a power worth having. However God is using you, however He designed you to be used, I hope that you're doing it. And I hope that you're doing it fully for Him. And I hope that you're also accepting, as I'm learning, sometimes you just have to accept the fact that you need to be quiet. This morning, I so badly wanted to record, but I had nothing. I had nothing. So I prayed. And I had music on in the background, and I just prayed. And that was all I needed to do. And it was great. And I was given another day. I was given an opportunity to speak with somebody privately who it's been on my heart for so long. And I really needed to speak with, and it was, God opened that up for me, and I'm thankful for that. And it went great. I'm going to keep praying, but it went great. And I've dealt with a lot today and talked to a lot of people about a lot of different things. And what's crazy is you start to think you're crazier when you start to see things from a spiritual perspective, when really you're one of the only people seeing things clearly. And that's probably people going to think I'm crazy just for saying that. But the fact of the matter is the truth. It's so the truth. Because we're spiritual beings. We have a spiritual Father. We're going to be with Him forever in a place that is not this. So a couple things to point out here. That's very strange. A couple things to point out here while I'm doing this. I just saw like a whole bunch of sheep all together, except for one sheep that was way far off on its own. And all the sheep were just standing still staring at that sheep. I don't know what that was about, but maybe it has something to do with what I just said. Who knows, right? Can I point out one thing from last week? While the disciples are walking with Jesus, they see the buildings, they say how beautiful they are. Jesus starts by letting them know that Jerusalem's going to fall. The temple's going to fall. He lets them know that. That's the first part. The second part that we just talked about was a lot about the second coming, right? Because He's answering two questions. But can we understand real quick that in Matthew, the disciples ask, tell us, when will these things be? What the first part was, when no stone will be left upon another. And what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? Okay, my question for you is this. If the disciples are still struggling to understand things spiritually, and they are, and even in Acts, right before Jesus ascends, they're still wanting to know about the kingdom on this earth. Do you think their questions here are spiritually minded at all? Because Jesus answers in a spiritually minded place. But do you think that His coming, the sign of your coming, do you think that they're thinking about this from a spiritual perspective or from an earthly, worldly perspective? Just had me thinking as He answers these questions, right? So let's read on here today. We are in Matthew, continuing on in 24, 15 through 28. Let's read it out loud. Let's see what it says. Let's see what's spoken of. And we'll kind of go from there. So when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by the prophet Daniel standing in the holy place, let the reader understand, then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let the one who is on the housetop not go down to take what is inside the house, and let no one who is in the field not turn back to take his cloak. And alas, for women who are pregnant and for those who are nursing infants in those days, pray that your flight may not be in winter or on a Sabbath, for then there will be great tribulation, such as has not been from the beginning of the world until now. And no, and never will be. And if those days had not been cut short, no human being would be saved. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be cut short. Because if they weren't, no one would be saved, right? Then if anyone says to you, look, here's the Christ, or there he is, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders. What? So as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. Remember, the chosen of God are those who have chosen God. The chosen of God, chosen by God, are those who have chosen God. The great deceiver is going to try to deceive even those elect. Jesus says, see, I've told you beforehand. So if they say to you, look, he's in the wilderness, do not go out. If they say, look, he's in the inner rooms, do not believe it. Listen to what he says here. For as the lightning comes from the east and shines as far as the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. Wherever the corpse is, there the vultures will gather. He says, you'll know when I come back. You want to know why you'll know? Because everyone will know. But when you see, Mark 13, 14 through 23, but when you see the abomination of desolation standing where he ought not to be, let the reader understand. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let the one who is on the housetop, let the one who is on the housetop not go down, nor enter his house to take anything out. And let the one who is in the field not turn back to take his cloak. And alas, for women who are pregnant, and for those who are nursing infants in those days, pray that it may not happen in winter. For in those days there will be such tribulation as has not been from the beginning of the creation that God created until now, and never will be. This is incredible tribulation. And if the Lord had not cut short the days, no human being would be saved. But for the sake of the elect, whom he chose, he shortened the days. And then if anyone says to you, look, here's the Christ, or look, there he is, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform signs and wonders to lead astray, if possible, the elect. Be on guard. I have told you all things beforehand. Look at the words that we have. Tribulation that has never been since the creation of the world and never will be. Signs and wonders performed by false Christs and false prophets. Why? How is this possible, and why? Because the prize is only for those who choose God and who listen to truth. We have to teach our children. We have to teach other people's children. We have to teach other people. Luke 21, 20 through 24. But when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then know that its desolation has come near. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let those who are inside the city depart, and let not those who are out in the country enter it. For these are days of vengeance, to fulfill all that is written. Alas, for women who are pregnant and for those who are nursing infants in those days. For there will be great distress upon the earth and wrath against this people. They will fall by the edge of the sword and be led captive among all nations. And Jerusalem will be trampled underfoot by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. There will be great distress upon the earth and wrath against this people. They will fall by the edge of the sword and be led captive among all nations. And Jerusalem will be trampled underfoot by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. All right, Matthew 24, 15 through 28. Now, Daniel 9:27, 11:31, and 12:11. Let's read those. Sorry, Daniel 9:27 Wouldn't it be funny if my stuff just didn't work when I needed it to? Of course, that's hilarious. That will not stop us. Daniel 9:27 reads like this. I want to start at 9:26. Well, no, 9:27. 9:26. And after the 62 weeks, an anointed one shall be cut off, and shall have nothing. And the people of the prince who is to come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. Its end shall come with a flood, and to the end there shall be war. Desolations are decreed. And he shall make a strong covenant with many for 1 week, and for half of the week he shall put an end to sacrifice and offering. And on the wing of abominations shall come one who makes desolate, until the decreed end is poured out on the desolator. Now this is marked out. It's just telling me that it's marked out in those same places. 11:31. Forces from him shall appear and profane the temple and fortress, and shall take away the regular burnt offering, and they shall set up the abomination that makes desolate. And 12:11. And from the time that the regular burnt offering is taken away, and the abomination that makes desolate is set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Now, I'm going to switch versions here. Just because I'm curious. Matthew 24, Passion. When you witness what Daniel prophesied, the disgusting destroyer, taking its stand in the holy place, let the reader learn then. All right, let's see what this says. The abomination sin that brings desecration. Jesus is saying that Daniel's prophecy was not yet fulfilled in Jesus' time. Many see the fulfillment of this prophecy in AD 70 when Titus, the Roman prince, went into the temple and sacrificed animals to Jupiter. That would make sense. The Aramaic is the defiling sign of desolation piling up in the holy place. These parenthetical words were added by Matthew to encourage us to seek the Lord for the understanding of the mystery. Jesus, speaking in the role of the true prophet, gives us truth to ponder in veiled language. Interesting. Then, in those days, the land of Judah must escape to the higher ground. On that day, if you happen to be outside, don't go back inside to gather belongings. And if you're working out in the field, don't run back home to get a coat. It'll be especially hard for pregnant women and for those nursing their babies in those days. So pray that your escape will not be during the winter months or on a Sabbath. For this will be a time of great misery beyond the magnitude of anything the world has ever seen or ever will see. Unless God limited those days, no one would escape. But because of his love for those chosen to be his, he will shorten that time of trouble. And you will hear reports from some saying, look, he has returned. The Messiah is over here. Or the Messiah is over there. Do not believe it. For there will be impostors, falsely claiming to be God's anointed one, and false prophets will arise to perform miracles, signs, and wonders to lead astray, if possible, those God has chosen to be his. Remember this, for I prophesy it will happen. So if someone says to you, look, the anointed one has returned, he's in the desert, don't go chasing after him. Or if they say to you, look, he's here in our house, don't believe it. The appearing of the Son of Man will burst forth with the brightness of lightning shining from the eastern sky to the west. How do birds of prey know where the dead body is? They just know instinctively, and so you will know when I appear. Whenever you find the corpse, there the eagles will gather. This peculiar verse is best understood as a parallel of vultures knowing where the carcass is, for example, to how instinctively believers will know when Jesus has appeared. Very interesting, right? Let's read some more of this. I'm just very interested in it, to be honest with you. Here's some takeaway spiritual points. You want some takeaway spiritual points? Here you go. The Christ has come. Yeah? The Christ has come. Jesus has come. There is no other. When he comes again, all will know and see. What else do we know? You are going to go through terrible times. If you follow Jesus, if you choose Jesus, you're choosing a life that goes against the ruler of this world. And he hates you so much. You have no value to him except to hurt the Father. Imagine this. I don't know why this came to mind, but it is. So I'm just going to speak it. If you don't like it, don't listen. Imagine you have a child and someone you know just hates you. What's more painful? To hurt you or to hurt your child? Imagine that person who hates you. You used to be friends, but they hate you now. They didn't like something about you. They didn't like maybe some of the honor you were getting or some of the love that you were getting, so they turned out to hate you. So the way they hurt you the most is by sneaking in and taking your child. And they take your child and they deceive your child and they hurt your child and they hate your child, and your child is nothing but a tool to get to you. And they know you'll do anything to protect and save your child, so you do. You sacrifice yourself and you give your child a chance to come back, a way out, an escape. But your child has to choose to take that escape, has to choose to leave the person who has lied to them their entire existence. This deceiver has lied to your child their entire existence, has brainwashed them, and truthfully hates them so much and hates you so much. And all you do is love your child, and you just want your child back, and you want to take your child out of that environment. And the deceiver just keeps hurting your child, but making it look like someone else is doing the hurting when they're not. And they act like they're the protector of your child when they're not. They hate your child. They hate your child so much, and they hate your child so much because it hurts you. Imagine this, because this is what's happening. You are a child of God. Satan hates you and always tries to look like the good guy and makes your father look like a crazy, unloving father. When you witness, like you're spiritually, you're set free. It talks about misery, greater misery than ever has been seen since the beginning of time. That's what's coming. That's what came. That's what we may see still. You gonna stay put? Let's look at Luke's account, actually. I'm very interested in Luke's account. Luke 21, 20 through 24. Luke 21. Through 24. Right after he says, "But don't worry, my grace will never desert you or depart from your life. Stand firm with patient endurance, and you will find your soul's deliverance. When you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, you will know for sure that its devastation is imminent." Says this was fulfilled in AD 70 when the Roman armies attacked Jerusalem. Some historians estimate that the Romans slaughtered more than 1 million Jews at that time and took captive up to 100,000 to other nations. Jews today still mourn the destruction of the temple. On the ninth day of the 5th month, May 9th. At that time, all who are living in Judea must flee to the mountains. Those who live inside the city gates, leave and flee. And those who live outside the city must not enter it seeking refuge. For these will be the days of God's vengeance, to fulfill what has been written against Jerusalem. There are several verses here. 1 Kings 9:6-9, Daniel 9:26, Hosea 9:7, Micah 3:12 that you can look at if you like. It says it will be extremely difficult for pregnant women and for those nursing little ones in that day, for great persecution and wrath will rise against this nation. Many will be cut down by the sword or scattered as prisoners to many countries, and Jerusalem shall be trampled down by nations until the days of world empires come to an end. More discussion on the destruction of Jerusalem. There's probably many, many things that we can take away from what we're reading. But can we understand a few things? If you've chosen God, He's chosen you. Can you know that if you remain and you stay and you endure all that Satan has to throw at you, that there is something waiting for you that is beyond words, that is indescribable, that we don't have the beauty here to describe it, to be able to tell us what it looks like or what it's like to be in the presence of God. But can you know this fact for sure, is that if you stand with God, He'll never leave you. There are people being destroyed and tortured right now for their belief in Jesus. Why would anyone destroy another person because of their belief in a human God? Does it make any sense? Like, there'd have to be a special kind. Would a true Bible-believing Christian, follower of Jesus, behead somebody because they're Muslim and follow Muhammad? No, even though they're completely wrong. You say, Dan, can you say that about Muslims? Let me tell you this. With the authority of the Holy Scriptures and the words spoken by Jesus, there is only one way to God, and that way is through Jesus. So if you call Muhammad a prophet and you slay people because they believe that Jesus is the Son of God and the Messiah, you have no chance. None. If you believe that the Messiah has not yet come, and you're of a faith that believes that, you have no chance of being with God. If you don't believe that there is a God and Jesus was just another person. I had somebody tell me once that they don't believe in the mythical person known as Jesus. And I say, then you can't believe in the mythical person known as anyone who's ever existed, because he was real. There's evidence and there's writings. You say, well, I can write about anything I want. I said, back in those days, that was not the case. Jesus is real. Jesus did walk this earth. Jesus did all the things and said all the things that we have recorded. If you don't believe it, then you can't believe any history, anything ever. It's a big deal. That says a lot, right? So, it's probably best just to believe, right? God is good, and He loves you, and He's for you. Satan is pure evil. He hates you, but he looks like and has the appearance of the only one that loves you, because he gives you a way out of your little things by doing things you shouldn't do. He gives you a little bit of extra money on your paycheck if you lie about your time or your taxes or whatever. He makes sure you get the things you want if you just kind of pocket them and steal them and you get away with it. He satisfies your lusts and your desires of the flesh or the lusts of the eye by allowing you to watch things or listen to things that nobody else knows about. It's just you. He pumps you up with pride by sending people who are deceived by him to pump you up and make you realize how good you are and how bad everybody else is. It's called gossip. He deceived from the beginning. He will never stop deceiving. It's all he knows. And he hates you because God loves you. He hates you because he hates God. And God says, my people who have chosen me will be like my son, and they will live and they will die for me. My people will. The elect. And the elect are those who chose me. Not those who I have picked out for myself, but those who have picked me instead of this world. Jesus is describing terrible, horrible things here. He's saying, I'm letting you know this ahead of time. Tell people, warn people. 1 million Jews just put to death in terrible ways? Nothing touches that. Nothing even gets close. 1 million slaughtered. You say, Dan, why did that have to happen? Because it was prophesied. Because God is faithful. Because they chose themselves. They chose Satan over choosing Jesus and choosing God. I'm not going to hit on all the things in this. You guys can read it. Jesus is the only way. God is the only God. He's full of love for you. He wants you more than anything. Believe this, that if you choose God, you are choosing to eradicate evil. God knows the hearts of every person. He knows if a person is going to turn to him or not. We have to trust him, believe him, follow him, no matter what happens. No matter what happens. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling. I love you guys. I'll see you for the next part.